It's Monday, October 27th, 2025, and this is episode 346 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Oh, Dr. Mike, I am back from Las Vegas, so I got all sorts of stories. Well, I don't know about all sorts of stories. I've got good stories. It was a good trip.
Okay, good. I want to hear all the stories.
Yeah. I kind of texted you along the way, but there's some things that I left out because I wanted them to be a surprise.
Oh.
But yeah, again, the reason for the trip was the celebration of life for Mark from 360 Vegas. That actually was very nice. It was that Saturday night. It was a conference room there at Horseshoe. Tony was the host for it. And this was smart. He got up there and he would introduce speakers. There were 4 people who spoke. And after each person spoke, and it was very emotional, obviously, when they were up there speaking, Tony would say, okay, we're going to take a little break here, go get another drink, and we'll have our next speaker in, 10 or 15 minutes. So putting a break between all the speakers really helped on an emotional level because, between speakers you could talk and maybe start laughing again, and yeah.
Right, you catch your breath almost.
Yeah, right, that's a good way of putting it, yeah. The event, Josh from 360 Vegas, J-Dubs, I think he summed it up really good. He said, it's good to be here. I'm not happy to be here. That was kind of the sentiment. This is what we needed to do. We're all together. Mm-hmm. This community is really tight. But of course, The reason that we're here is not a happy reason. But I think it was really well done, and we reflected on Mark and his impact on the community. So just a really good get-together that Saturday night. And then the next day was a little less formal. We all met at the Vesper Bar at the Cosmopolitan. I didn't even know existed. You got to walk all the way to the back on it. It's on the main floor there. But they've got this little kind of alcove there at the bar. No TV screens or anything. You can just kind of sit and socialize and get drinks. And so that was really nice as well. There's talk about maybe they will release some of the audio from the event as a 360 Vegas episode. That is still, I think, up in the air, but that would be nice because everyone could hear it.
Right.
But the Vegas trip, it was really an enjoyable trip. I met up with Tim Lawson. That first night, Friday night, we ate dinner at Barry's at Circa, which I've never been to before. It's their steakhouse. That was really good. We just had a really good dinner. We watched Shohei Ohtani and his incredible game, was on that Friday night, pitching and all the home runs and everything. And
not so incredible last night.
No. Yeah, it's so funny because Sherry says, whenever I sit and watch, Ohtani strikes out or flies out. She's never seen him do anything at the plate. And of course, she watched the whole game last night with me. Nothing.
Yeah. Struck out like 3 times,
right? I think. So I don't know if it's Sherry or if he's really not that great a player. We're just fooling ourselves. But,
no, it's just the way it's worked out. I mean, He is a great player.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Yeah. But I don't think Sherry's jinxing him from San Diego.
Probably not.
All the way to Toronto. I mean, she's got some pretty good jinx power then.
And then on Sunday night, I had dinner with Tim and Jimmy at Komodo at Fontainebleau, and that was excellent as well. I want to thank both of them, actually, because I didn't have to pay for either of those meals. So thank you very much to Tim for both meals and Jimmy, when we were at Fontainebleau. We played some high-limit Baccarat at Fontainebleau like Tim and I did last time. That's great. Love the room there. The only thing that could have made it better this time was there was a player there who he seemed okay at first, but then he was a little rough around the edges and was not treating the staff very well. Luckily, we didn't play with him too long. But
what was he doing to the staff?
Well, he was doing inappropriate things. Like we had a female dealer and he was holding up like a $25 chip and saying, I'll tip you if you say that you love me. I'll tip you if you say. And this woman, she was kind of middle-aged, married. She basically looked away, wouldn't respond to him. It's just crap. Things like that. And
stupid stuff.
yeah, and then
alcohol involved.
Oh yeah, there was alcohol involved.
Okay, so that's part of it.
And there were other times where, when you get to touch the cards, if everybody's betting the same amount, the dealer will sometimes just hand the cards to, whoever hasn't done it in a while or whatever. It's sort of arbitrary. Right? It's supposed to be whoever has the most bet on banker or player gets to, bend that hand. Right. And he was getting upset about that. How come I wasn't? Let's not dwell on that, because really, we had a great time again at the Fontainebleau high limit room there playing box. So that was really good. Let's see. I've got some stories here written down. You can probably see them here on the show notes. We were talking about, the Hardways all day side bet. Is it going to be spreading? Now, I did not actually go to a lot of casinos, but I played quite a bit at Horseshoe, and they did have the Hardways all day, along with the repeater bet. So no all small tall. Yeah.
No all tall small at all on any other tables?
I was only on 2 tables that were ever open, and both of them were Hardways all day and the repeater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this time I actually saw somebody win the Hardways all day. So that was nice, because it's hard to do, right? It pays $165 for one. So
how much they have bet on it?
$5. So what is that? Okay. $825, something like that. And then the dealers get $5 for every dollar bet as an envy bonus. Okay. So they got some too. So it was nice to finally see that hit. Yeah, it's one of those bets. It's so simple. We may see it spreading more. When I played in the morning on the weekend, Crapless was the only table open at Horseshoe.
Okay.
And when I left on Monday, I was down in the casino about 9 o'clock. None of the craps tables were open. So probably around noon.
At 9 a.m.?
Yeah, on a Monday.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of off season, right? Summer's ended and crowds are lower.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get the sense that crowds were lower. I was in the center of the strip. And
I mean, like on a Monday.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And we did actually have a lot of reports from people who attended the event that limits had gone down. People were saying there was a lot of $10 craps on the strip, at least during the day. So that's good. And of course, $5 craps over at Palms, $3 craps over at Rio. So, maybe they're trying something to lower the limits.
Yeah. Well, this time of year, I mean, the weekends are obviously always going to be busy in Vegas, I think, because, people like to go there.
That's when you go.
But the weekdays, as you get around the holidays and stuff, probably a little slower, just because people are busy doing a lot of other stuff, right?
Yeah. I know listener Kevin said that there was a long line at Horseshoe when he checked in. That was not the case. Luckily, I was checking in Friday, probably about 2 in the afternoon, something like that. Drink service was fantastic at Horseshoe. That kind of surprised me. There are other places I would think would be better, but they were quick, attentive. I was at Cosmo the next day, and the drink service, it took a long time between the time you ordered and actually got the drink. So it wasn't really a problem of, where is the cocktail server? It was more like, I got my order in, and then, you sat there for a while. But Horseshoe was really good.
Maybe one bartender trying to do a bunch of
who knows?
Stuff.
Yeah, again. Yeah. I did walk down to Harrah's. I wanted to see if they still had 5-card Pai Gow. Unfortunately, they did not. Vegas Advantage Online was saying that it was there about a week ago, so I must have just missed it. I would have liked to have played it.
Well, it didn't last long.
No. He said, Vegas Advantage, he said that whenever he was in there, nobody was playing, or, it'd be just like one player, so it just wasn't catching on.
Yeah.
I played overnight Keno because, as you know, the Horseshoe is the only Keno lounge left on the Strip. That did not go well. I wish I could report that just nothing. I played like 50 and I'd cash out for 15. I'd play 75 and cash out for 20. So.
Yeah, it's nice when you wake up in the morning and you've won.
Yep. But no such luck this time. I did go to the fitness center a couple of times. That's kind of lacking. The fitness center, it's shared by Horseshoe in Paris. You've got to walk, at Horseshoe where
it's a long ways.
Yeah, you walk back like towards the food court area, where their sportsbook used to be. And then you keep going kind of where the pool is. And it's a small fitness center. It's not, nobody runs
Yeah.
it. There are no
Nor should
employees.
there be.
There's no water. Well, they have a drinking fountain. That's all they have. And they don't have like cups to put water in or a water cooler or anything. No towels, so
wow.
you got to bring all that. But all I did was the elliptical. So, I mean, it was fine, but I guess thumbs down on the
I wonder how that goes now. Do people, I mean, are the hardcore workout people still doing that in Vegas, or are they like, I'm taking day off,
Well, if you're talking about the hardcore people, they're definitely doing it. When I stayed at Planet Hollywood, I went in the mornings and that place was packed. So I don't know, Planet Hollywood clientele versus Horseshoe in Paris, but
Planet Hollywood caters to the well-fit, Mark.
Yeah, the well-fit, the youngins.
The youngins, yeah.
And then this was nice. I went over, like I said, to Cosmo. I played some crapless over there. And as soon as I bought in, I said, hey, what's the deal on buying the 5 and 9? Can I buy the 5 and 9 and pay the VIG only on wins? And the dealers were kind of flummoxed, but I'll tell you, the pit was right there. This was great. He said, oh, yeah, we got you. And kind of explained to the dealers what they should be doing. Yeah, pay 3-2, get the VIG at the end. So good. I've heard that MGM properties are more likely to allow you to buy the 5 and 9 like that than other properties in Las Vegas. So that was good news. And
nice, yeah.
Eked out a small win for the weekend. Got to eat some Tommy burgers on the drive as usual.
Tell me about this text that you sent me that you were following Tim to, was it Fontainebleau, or I can't remember where you said you were going, but and then you said, I'm a bit tipsy. And then you said, walking, not driving.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me see if I can find that text.
The funny thing is that I read that, and then I didn't hear from you until the next day. I'm like, well, I hope he made it.
Oh, here it was. Yeah. I said, I'm a little tipsy, but I'm following Tim and Jimmy to Resorts World.
Oh, Resorts World. Okay.
Walking, not driving. Yeah. We were already at Fontainebleau. And so we said, let's go check out Resorts World, see what their high limit room is like. So that's all it was. Yeah. I wouldn't get in the car and drive.
When I got that, I was like, oh my, I hope he made it okay.
No, I drank a lot over at the Fontainebleau high limit, and then we decided to walk over to Resorts World. And so, yeah, I think my sister and my mom FaceTimed me then too. Oh, how's it going? And I guess I was a little, I don't know how that turned out
you
for them.
didn't tell your
I'll have
mom,
to ask them.
I'm tipsy.
A little tipsy, Mom. Whoa, the curb, Mom.
Yeah, you remember that curb problem you had that one time.
I do. And yeah, I just had a verbena over at Cosmo and oh man, I hurt myself. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much the trip. I'm trying to remember other things. Any questions for me? I went through that pretty fast. I don't know, but any questions for me?
I think I was able to follow it all.
All right, good.
Surprisingly enough. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to December.
Yes.
And I've already made my plane reservations, so
excellent.
I'm locked in.
Okay, good. So we're talking about Zorkfest. It's that first weekend in December. Zorkfest itself is taking place at the M Resort. Dr. Mike and I will be staying at Planet Hollywood, however, just because we want to be close to other casinos, where we can gamble. And then we'll just drive to M when it's time for the Zorkfest events.
Yeah, and also I get a free room at Planet Hollywood ahead of time. I don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I got to play more here to
right. Yeah, Caesars,
get a room.
Yeah.
And also the great gift wrap-up giveaway thing is that same weekend.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
there you go.
I can walk across the street to Caesars and get whatever I can get out of that.
Oh, okay, very good.
So that's another reason. It's just more convenient.
Yeah.
Plus, I can walk from there to the airport.
Yeah, it's much better than M.
Yeah.
Planet Hollywood's a lot closer to the airport. Yeah.
Well, I'm flying on, oh, gosh, it's not Frontier. It's one of those cheapy airlines.
Are you on Spirit?
I think it's Spirit, yeah.
Good luck to you.
So all I can bring is like a small 2-inch by 3-inch bag.
Yeah.
that I can get on. So I won't have much luggage.
Yeah,
So
use one of those vacuum
just a
sealers.
heads up. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
all
a
right.
heads up. If you see me wearing the same thing,
Great.
oh, I hate that. But it was the only nonstop, decent timed flight
From
I could get
Minneapolis?
from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still have to drive up to Minneapolis from here.
Yeah.
But everything else was like, oh, you got to make some of them were two stops. I'm thinking Minneapolis, that's a huge airport.
Yeah.
Vegas is an airport that everyone wants to go to. Two stops? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And some of them were like, instead of being like a 2.5 hour flight, it ended up, the whole time took you like 8-9 hours. I'm
Right.
like, oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Nonstop is definitely worth it.
Oh, yeah. And they were cheaper than the other flights. I was like, oh my God. So I'll deal without clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they haven't seen me in Vegas without clothes before.
Yeah. No comment. Everybody was asking about you. Yeah. I said, okay, yeah, he'll be here in December. So
yeah,
then you can
I will.
say hi. Yeah. Well, Dr. Mike, we got an email from listener Ryan. He and some of his friends are going to Wendover to play in a poker tournament. In fact, gosh, I think it's actually today, the day that we're recording.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And afterwards, Ryan wants to take them on a casino crawl. And so he sent us what he plans on doing. He just wondered what our thoughts were about it. I think he did a great job of coming up with some rules for the casino crawl.
Well, I liked it. When I read that, I thought, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, here's what he said. So he's got 5 people in his group, and there are 5 casinos all within walking distance. So it's not like it's, going to take all day, right?
Right.
So number 1, everybody has to play a different table game at each casino. They can buy in for any denomination they want, and they quit when either they've doubled their buy-in, or they've lost it all, or it's been 15 minutes, whatever comes first.
Okay.
And then at the end, they've got to tip the dealer, and if they want, keep a $1 chip souvenir. Well, pretty good. That's the table game.
All right. I like that if they want, they can keep a souvenir.
Right. It's up to them, but he put it in the rules.
It's not mandatory,
Yeah.
but highly suggested, I think.
Then also at each casino, a group slot pull. Everybody puts in $20, and then they cash out after spinning through the initial investment and distribute the winnings. So, that would be $100. So you just keep track of playing $100 through. You kind of have to count it because, your bankroll within the machine can change.
Be different.
But, you would count.
If you're playing a $25 machine, you've got $100. It's 4 pushes and we're done.
Yeah. But they didn't say it would be a high limit slot pull necessarily. So maybe it's only $5 a pull, right? So they can do it 20 times, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And then at least 1 drink at each casino. That seems fair.
Yep.
And Ryan says this should provide a few hours of entertainment at a relatively low price point for the non-gamblers, because they're all poker players, but not all of them are casino gamblers, which, you see quite a lot. So we really think that's great, Ryan.
Yeah, and I thought it was excellent. And there's no buy-in for a denomination you're comfortable with. I like that.
Right, at the table game. Yes, $20 for a slot, which, big deal. But, yeah, whatever you want to do. If somebody's, wants to buy in at a blackjack game for $500 and somebody says, no, 25.
Yeah, or then, if 20, somebody just say,
right.
I'll buy in for 20. I'm not really into these games, but I'll play 5 hands or 4 hands or whatever. That's nice.
Yeah. So good luck, Ryan. By the time this episode drops, the trip will probably be over. So hopefully you had a good time.
I like at the end where he says, and when we're done with the 5 casinos, everyone immediately goes to bed.
Oh, I don't see that here in my show notes. It must have only printed on yours.
Yeah, I think it's...
It was so funny when I went to Vegas this last time. So I've got this reputation for showing up in Vegas and then going straight to bed. This trip, I was arriving at like 2 p.m. And you texted me something along those lines. Well, enjoy going straight to bed and I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I should have at least pretended. All right, good night, Mike. Text you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm a little tired from the drive. I know it's only 2:00, but
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first. YouCanBetOnThat.com and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. That means it's time for voicemails. First up is Eamon.
All right, gentlemen, Eamon from London here, where I am reporting live from what I believe to be the first sportsbook in the UK. Recent changes in gaming law have made it possible to actually have sports betting in a casino. So they have traditionally always been separate, but now there is one at the Hippodrome. It is called Paddy's. So Paddy's is a big online player, and now there is a sportsbook at the Hippodrome down in the basement called Paddy's Sportsbook. I'm also excited to say what I believe a first in London, at least as far as I can tell, because I've been looking everywhere, is video poker. However, the pay tables look absolutely awful to me. Full House pays $6, Flush pays $5 on a $1 bet or a £1 bet. However, when playing max bet, a Royal Flush does pay $4,700. So I don't really know how that evens out the pay table with the progressive on the Royal, but that does kind of suck to have a 6-5 game. But nonetheless, at least they have video poker for the first time as far as I can tell here. Anyways, that is it for now. I will send you over some information about how the gaming law has changed and what has changed here in the UK.
All right, thanks, Eamon. Yeah, he sent me some pay tables from those video poker machines. They were terrible, even with the progressive being a little more than 4,000.
Yeah, they do not sound good.
So it seems odd to us to hear that sports books are now allowed in casinos in England. Sort of the opposite of what happened here in the United States, right? So you'd be able to make a bet with the bookies on the high street, like in your town in England, but not in the casino. So this is now a different thing where they can sit and watch the matches and make the bets and everything.
And
so
make bets.
That's good news, yeah.
Yeah, I think initially they did that kind of to protect people in a certain way. Like you have to go somewhere special to do that. And
well, but even that seems like the opposite to me. Because going to a casino, if you can just go just within your neighborhood and make a bet, that seems more dangerous than having to go to a casino. Now, they can still go to their neighborhood bookie and make the bet.
Right.
But now they just have the additional option of doing it at the casino.
Yeah. Well, and there's not a lot of casinos there. Right?
Well, not compared to here.
To here, yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure in the 70s in Australia, when we were there were betting places. You could buy your lottery tickets there or make a sports wager or horse race bet, things like that. And I don't remember them being like real convenient, at least not where we lived, but they were there. It wasn't, you didn't have to go far to get to one.
Okay. So just to remind listeners, Dr. Mike lived in Australia for a time when he was a kid. Obviously, he was too young to go to casinos, that kind of thing, make bets.
Yeah, I think I was 17.
Yeah, but if anybody remembers from the 70s or even can give us some updates now as far, because Australia is a big gambling country. For sure. So if anybody has any information on if there's still these betting parlors just in your neighborhood, I mean, everything's online now too, so I mean, it's much different, but let us know.
But I remember the place. I remember my dad going in to buy like lottery tickets and things like that. The lottery was a little different there. It was more like you bought a ticket and you could put something on it like, you can bet on that or something. And then it was drawn and announced by that. Like,
like your name somehow.
Like, some kind of, your name or your catchphrase.
Like a drawing. Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Next up is Ed.
Hey guys, I just listened to your podcast that said Craps Court, and you had that question where that guy messed up the Pai-Gow hand and corrected the dealer that had 2 pair, and he was trying to ask, was he in the wrong? Of course he's in the wrong. He's not in the hand. He has no money on the table. He specifically messed up the play against the players for no reason. He's not in the hand. The best way I could analogize it to is in poker. If you're not in the hand, you can't comment, to call, to raise. You can't tell other players what to do. As proof, I want to offer up If you mess up the split on a Pai Gow hand, the house wins. They don't come in and say, hey, we see you messed up, so we're going to correct it. You lose the hand. So if the dealer messes up, they lose the hand. That's the way it works. The guy standing in the back, he knew he was wrong. He tried to call in, try to get the crowd behind him, say he wasn't doing anything wrong. He knew he was wrong, and you shouldn't condone that kind of stuff by giving him the bye. Love the podcast. Good luck, guys. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, Ed is referring to a call on our last episode where the caller had not bought into the game yet. There was one more hand before he was going to buy in, but he witnessed the hand. Now, this is important. It was not Pai Gow poker. It was Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And why that is significant is because in Ultimate Texas Hold'em, you're not manipulating the cards in any way. You're not making a decision on how you're going to play the hand. Your only decision is when you're going to raise or raise it all or fold, right? It's all just betting. You don't change your hand. So in the game that our original caller was watching, it just came down to hand interpretation, not actually setting the hand. And Ed used poker as an analogy, but I don't think that analogy fits because Ed was saying, yeah, you can't tell people when to raise and, stuff like that. Yeah, of course you can't. But this was not a case of the original caller telling anybody how to play their hand. It was just hand interpretation. And in fact, in poker, players are encouraged to correct hand interpretation if there's a mistake, even if they're not involved in the hand, right? It's for the integrity of the game. And plus, you're not playing against the casino. These are players playing against each other, right? So yes, you can't say, oh, raise here, oh, fold here. But you're supposed to say, oh, you've got a flush. You think you only have top pair, you've actually got a flush. Okay.
Right.
All those things taken into account, what happened was our caller, our original caller, looked at the hand, immediately said something like, oh, if I had played, I would have gotten that straight. When the dealer only thought that the dealer had two pair. And the players at the table got mad at our listener for calling that to the dealer's attention. We said our listener had not done anything wrong, kind of emphasizing the word wrong, like what's right and what's wrong, even though Dr. Mike and I agreed that we would not have said anything because, like Ed said, we were not involved in the hand. Obviously, I'm trying to be diplomatic whenever we respond to calls like this, but I still stand by what I said last episode. I don't think our listener did anything wrong. I don't know that he did the right thing either. Maybe he did do the right thing because something like that helps the dealer. The dealer doesn't get in trouble for making a mistake. There's so many ways you can look at this. So just wanted to kind of put that all out there. Whatever opinion you have might not agree with Dr. Mike and me, might not agree with Ed, but that's what happened. I just wanted to get all the facts straight.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, and this happens in everything in life. Sometimes it's clear cut, like, no, they shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's clear cut, yeah, they should have done that. But most of the time in our lives, it's like, well, depends on how you look at the situation and if you have all the facts, and it's not that easy a call.
Yeah. And the original caller who called attention to this, it was clear that he didn't do it on purpose. Right? He actually saw the straight. It's not clear whether or not he knew at that point that the dealer only thought he had two pair. But our listener saw the straight, just made a comment, oh, I would have gotten that straight. Right? He wasn't intentionally trying to prevent the other players at the table from getting incorrectly paid.
He could have almost just been thinking out loud.
Right. I could see me doing this without thinking. And I would have felt bad afterwards. It's like, I shouldn't have said anything. But
what do you tell me when we're playing poker and I say, oh, why didn't I stay? I would have made the full house, or I would have made the flush, or something like that. And then you always will turn to me and say, well, you didn't stay in.
Yeah. It's not interesting. Your
It's
story's not interesting because you
That's
didn't
what
stay in.
Because you didn't stay in. Somebody at the table should have turned to the guy. Well, that's not interesting. You didn't stay in. So
I'm constantly
Right.
saying that to the guys at poker because oh God, if a deuce had come up in the end, I would have had the nuts. Oh yeah? Well, if I'd been dealt four of a kind, I would have scooped and won jackpot.
yeah. And just tell him, well, if Mike was here, he would have got a straight flush on every hand.
Don't believe me?
Destroyed you. Yeah, right. If should be taken out of the English language.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the call, Ed. Next call.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Bill from upstate New York. The trip report from Vegas. We were out there from September 28th to October 4th, a Sunday to a Saturday. We stayed at the TI, also known as a Treasure Island, next to the Mirage, which is still up, even though they're building a big, beautiful casino, Hard Rock, right in front of it. They were very slow in their casino. They had one crap game open, $15 minimum. Nobody was on it, but they were playing in the stadium setup, which I'd never seen before. And they all had their little screens with their $5 minimum, and they were playing stadium and blackjack also. The blackjack paid 3-2. They were very proud of it. They played 3-2 in all their table games. But on the machines, it was 6-5. I couldn't get a straight answer why that was. But anyway, the field was interesting to me. They had triple pay on the 12 and double on aces. We're used to double on both of them. So a little advantage to the people that are playing. The hotel was okay. It was low priced. There's free parking for the hotel. They didn't have the coffee makers in the rooms, which I always enjoy in the morning. So we had to go downstairs at $4.62 a cup and come up, which is not, I thought was going to be $10 or $12, but it wasn't. So we didn't get hit with a massive fee. The resort fee was $50 extra per day. Kind of scammed you because when you make the reservation online, they say that's all we do. We don't know anything about the resort fee. Of course, when you get there, the resort fee allows you to go to the pool and then pay more to sit on a comfortable chair. So I didn't do that very often. We were able to go to other casinos around there. It's very nice, the Venetian, my wife and daughter, they love the gondolas and the Palazzo. And those two are right close to the Sphere, which we went to. You can go through the casino to get there. That was quite an experience. And we saw 2 Cirque du Soleil shows. The Michael Jackson one in Mandalay Bay. It was tremendous. Just an unbelievable show. But I was able to ride. Amazon they're testing their riderless taxis out there, and they're free. I was able to get a ride up and down the strip at night, 40 minutes. It was great to do that. No fear at all. It worked fine. I would do it again, and I'd even pay for it. So thanks again.
I think I'd do one of those self-driving taxis. Would you do it, Mike?
In Vegas?
Yeah, as long as it's not like on the freeway or anything.
Yeah, if it wasn't on the freeway, I'd probably do it.
Yeah. I'd kind of like to get if you crash, big deal, right? How hurt could you be?
Yeah.
Just on the surface streets in Las Vegas.
You could be killed dead.
I guess so.
Lynn loves that when
Killed dead.
They were killed dead.
How else were they killed? It's all from that old Raid ad. Kills bugs dead.
Kills bugs dead.
Yeah.
We saw, honestly, somebody on a national network news say that they were killed dead.
Fatally killed dead.
Fatally killed dead.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they were dead, Mark.
Yeah, it was.
They weren't breathing or anything.
Yeah, this wasn't like Spock coming back. This was. They were dead. Yeah.
It's going to be nice when we're able to remove somebody's brain and then control them with a little remote control box.
Yeah, it's got like 2 buttons on it.
Yeah, that's got like 2 buttons on it.
Yeah. Worst episode ever.
Well, best episode ever, Mark.
I guess.
I love that episode.
Well, thanks for the trip report. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen pictures, Mike, of them building the guitar for the new Hard Rock where Mirage used to be. I saw some pictures online. Oh, that's going to be pretty cool. I actually drove by it this trip. It's going to be huge. Oh, my God. This is going to be pretty spectacular. A giant guitar right there on the strip. Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, next call.
Hello, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Frank from St. Louis. I'm just responding to the caller who asked in your last episode, 345, about the worst crap session that he had. I'd like to share mine. The day was October 14th, 2003, and I can tell you why I remember that day. I was playing at the old Casino Royale. Well, it's still the Casino Royale, but they had 100 times odds on a $5 bet. Bought in for about $2,000. Standing next to the dealer at the far end. The shooter was at the very top. He was drunk and he was sunburned. This is about 9:30 in the morning. He was there with his group. And he proceeded to roll a number. I don't remember what it was. Let's just say 6. I had a $5 pass line bet. Probably put $250 or $300 odds. Placed a $5 comeback. He continued to move on. Eventually, he had all 6 numbers made, had not hit a number, and after each roll, he was so drunk, he would ask the dealer, what did I roll? What did I roll? Like, maybe this guy's either going to make me very rich or he's going to just bury me. Maybe I should just pull my odds. And I said, nah, you're just being superstitious. So on the 7th roll, he rolled a 7. I lost somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,400 or $1,500 on that roll. I walked away very angry and upset, and then the icing on the cake was the dealer said, as I walked away, here's your $5 comeback, sir. So he was honest. I thought my luck would change that day. It didn't. Several $1,000s later, I was having a miserable day, and then I looked up at the screen, and I saw a Cubs-Marlins game. And the only person in the world who had a worse day than me was Steve Bartman. I actually had bet the Marlins to win that series. They came back 3-1 eventually. So that's my terrible crap story. I'm still around. Bartman's still around. And thanks for all you do. Goodbye.
All right. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, for people
I like
who
that story.
maybe not old enough to remember, so it was a playoff game between the Cubs and the Marlins in Wrigley, and a fan, Steve Bartman, reached out to basically try to catch a foul ball, and he ended up just kind of, diverting it. Moises Alou, who was playing left field, probably would have made the catch, but Bartman interfered, like any fan probably would have. Right. But at that point, the Cubs defense just absolutely collapsed. They had a 3-0 lead. It was the 8th inning. Marlins came back and won the game and eventually won the series. So this poor guy, Steve Bartman, just a pariah. Even though a lot of fans and the Cubs management all came out and said, look, it wasn't him. You can't pinpoint this. But still, probably the biggest controversy in Cubs history. And poor guy, yeah, he is still around today. The Cubs eventually won the World Series, so people don't think about him as much. But I agree. Steve Bartman had a worse day than Frank that day.
Yeah, he did have a bad day. The funny thing about that, I got to say this. If a ball's coming at you, right at you as a fan, you don't have time to, okay, now what should I do here? Yeah, you just reach for the ball.
You're looking at it. Now, yeah, he reached he had a seat right at the edge. He reached over the edge a little bit because Alou probably would have caught the ball, right? He was over there waiting for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd all do the same thing. You're looking, and he wasn't the only one. There were other fans. He just happened to be the one that it really, came down on, got his hand on.
So, there were like 3 of them there all trying to grab it.
Yeah.
Oh, the rest of his life. I thought about that afterwards. The rest of his life, he's got to live through that. And all of his family and friends,
the poor guy.
Or anyone he signs his check or something, or he assigns his credit card thing in some place. And Bartman, are you the
one? Oh, gosh, poor guy. I think he's doing okay, though, now.
I think so. I think he's probably okay.
Yeah, so it sounds like Frank was doing a continuous comeback. So yeah, that's the worst roll you can have. You go up on every single number and then a 7 out, which is pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it is hard to do.
No repeaters.
Although we've done that.
Oh, yeah. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Okay, next call. Here's Thomas.
Hey, Mike and Dr. Mike, how's it going? My name is Thomas. I'm a car dealer at a casino in Canada. First of all, I just wanted to say I love your guys' podcast. I just started listening to it recently. I got a colleague whose name is Mike, and since I started listening to you guys, I keep calling him Dr. Mike. But I wanted to share something that you guys might find funny or interesting. My casino is kind of weird for some things. We used to have Spanish 21, but now we don't have Spanish anymore. We still have the same game, but the casino didn't want to pay the royalties for the name. So instead of being named Spanish 21, it's named Bahamas Bonus. Yes, you heard that right. Bahamas Bonus instead of Spanish 21.
Bonus.
And they did that to another game. They did that more recently for High Card Flush. It's not named High Card Flush anymore. It's named I Love Suits. So they keep changing the names of the original games, but people are just confused because, like, they come up to the table and they're like, oh, what's this game? And I'm like, oh, well, it's called I Love Suits. Like, I can't say, oh, it's High Card Flush, but it's actually called I Love Suits. Anyways, I thought you guys might find this interesting. Keep up the great work, guys. I love your podcast, and I hope I get on the show. I'll see you.
All right. Thanks, Thomas.
Yeah. I was just wondering, for royalties and stuff, don't you have to change more than just the name?
I don't know the legality of it, but I don't think this is a case where Thomas's casino was coming up with names on their own, because Bahamas Bonus and I Love Suits are both also copyrighted games. In fact, when I was in Vegas, I saw I Love Suits at several casinos. It actually is I Heart Suits, kind of like the I Heart NY bumper stickers.
Right.
But how they get away with it being basically the same game, I don't know. But I'm guessing, Thomas, that your casino is still paying royalties, just to different companies, and maybe it's less expensive.
Right, maybe less expensive royalties.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, well, we'll have to ask Tony the legality of that. I would assume that if I just copied a game, wouldn't you have to tweak the game just a little bit?
You would think so, Mike, but think about the all small tall and how we see that called different things. And they're trademarked, copyrighted, whatever, by different companies. Some are, the bonus bet, or they're called little ones, big ones. But it's the same bet with the same payouts, same rules.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I wonder who I would write a letter to, a tersely worded letter.
A tersely, yeah.
About how confusing that is.
Gaming, send it to gaming, Nevada gaming. Yeah.
Nevada gaming?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but he's in Canada.
Well, I know he's in Canada and that's how they're doing it. But this happens in the United States. Like I said, I saw I Love Suits all over town and not High Card Flush. Why the difference? I don't know.
I just don't want to be complicit in some lawsuit where I played that game and I shouldn't have been because that's an illegal name.
Well, you know what you do is you sign it under somebody else's name and then you drive to Iowa and mail the letter from there.
Ah, okay. That's good. They'll never suspect it from Iowa.
Never expect it, especially when you've got your correct return address on the letter inside.
Yeah, right.
They may be able to track you down because you want a response after all.
Yeah, you want to get a response back. Otherwise, you have to have it sent to some house in Iowa, and then you have to constantly monitor the mail at their house.
That's right. And if you don't tell the person, they might be suspicious while you're driving by their house every day, opening up their mailbox.
Yeah. Or just getting there at the exact same time as the mailman. Hey, they get an email from gaming.
Who's they? Don't you live here?
Yeah, my uncle, Bill, he lives here. Well, that's not the name on this. Yeah, well, he doesn't get mail.
All right, I'm confused. I'm going to call my supervisor.
Oh.
All right, last call.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Julio over the Bay Area. Mark, it was good seeing you over in Vegas this past weekend. I was wondering if you guys ever had a situation that I just had at the craps table, and I want to get your thoughts. I'm at the craps table when I'm the guy to my right. He's shooting, and he's shooting for the don't. He eventually makes his numbers and then runs out of money. So the dealer says you have to pass the dice, and then I was the next person. I was on his left side. So I then took over his role. I managed to turn into a 30-minute roll, during that 30-minute span, more and more people came to the table. But when I rolled 7 out, the people that weren't at the table and some of the people there, they were like, why is he rolling again? People were like complaining, and I was kind of like, maybe I should just pass the dice because I already had a good roll. But some of the people that were there were like, no, roll again, roll again. And I was kind of like, you know what? It's not going to be another good roll. So anyways, half of the people were like, roll. Some people were like, no, why is he rolling? So they explained it. They settled it. So I went ahead and take the dice. And of course what happened was I only rolled like 2 numbers and it was like 7 out. And then everyone was like, you see, what a waste of time. You shouldn't have been rolling and whatever. So in my head, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should have just passed it. I'm just wondering, what would you guys do? Would you guys take your roll that's entitled to you, even though you had a good roll already, or just pass the dice? All right. Have a good one. Just want to see what you guys thought.
All right. Thanks, Julio. Yeah, good to see you as well. All right. For those not familiar, if, let's say, player A is rolling the dice, and for some reason they can't continue to roll before they've 7'd out, either they ran out of money, like this case, or, oh, I'm sorry, I've got to go, dinner reservation, I've got to catch a flight, for whatever reason, the next player to the left, let's say player B, will take over that hand and continue to roll. But it's still technically player A's hand. So once player B 7's out, now it becomes player B's turn to roll. So in a sense, player B gets to roll twice in a row. It's not exactly that because he didn't start player A's hand, but that's what it is. And in this case, Julio rolled for so long that people came up during the roll, didn't realize that that is what had happened. And they're like, hey, wait a minute, why is he rolling again? So Julio's saying, what if it had been us? Would we have just, I had such a great roll. Yeah, I'll just pass the dice. Or would you roll again? And I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably just kind of take in the mood of the table. Now, Julio was saying some people were encouraging him to roll again because it was so good, while others were saying, no, let somebody else do it. So I don't know. I'd probably take the temperature of the table and then base my decision on that. What do you think, Dr. Mike?
Well, when that happens to me, and it has happened quite a few times, I always finish the other person's roll.
Of course.
And then sometimes I passed and sometimes I've rolled again. Kind of depends on the mood of things, like you said, Sometimes, you take over and then you roll twice and you 7 out. And it's like, okay, I'm rolling again.
Right. If you finish up their roll and it's like, he had a bad roll. And it's like, okay, now it's my turn. Yeah. That's a little different.
That kind of thing. And then other times, I've rolled a while. It's been a pretty good roll. And I just think, let's let someone else have a turn. But there's no etiquette to that. It's just
no, there's no etiquette. But I think, the question really is just in the case like what happened to Julio, where he finishes a guy's roll by rolling a long time. Like you said, if I finish somebody's roll and I didn't roll that much more, or maybe just a little bit more, I'll almost always then take my real roll.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe they should have little microphones at each section of the craps table so you can talk to all the players at once and say, stuff like, should I roll again? Let's take a quick vote.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Maybe not even microphones, just little displays at any time at a craps table or any table game for that matter. You should be able to create a poll that goes out to all the players that they vote on. Yeah, and then the results come back.
Right.
Our casino is going to have that.
You rolled a 3, then you roll a 12, and then on the screen it's new shooter. Everyone's decided we don't want you anymore. Boy, that's a cruel world. That's like 1984 or something.
Well, we'll have that at our casino.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some recurring donations. From Nathan, from the National Association of Casino Party Operators, from Brian and Sarah, from the guys over at Crap Vegas, from Josh, from Brian Dancer, and from the International Brotherhood of Gobbling Donkeys. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from listener John K. Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. Karma donation for a friend's trip to Vegas. I made my first ever Karma donation before a trip in June. When I arrived at Aria, they offered a free upgrade to a corner tower suite. Nice. Not sure how you guys did that, but I'm hooked. You'll be getting donations before every trip from now on. So thank you very much, John K. Also, a donation from Ryan, a karma donation for that Wendover trip that we talked about earlier on the show. So again, hope you had good luck, Ryan.
Yeah, it's going on now.
Yeah,
so
right now.
It's 3:30 here.
Yep.
Where I'm at, it's only 1:30 there, so they're probably right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
or still playing poker.
It sounded like the tournament was going to end about noon, so yeah, that should be good. Yeah, if I read it right, maybe it starts at noon. What tournament ends at noon? I don't know. Maybe in Wendover.
Yeah, maybe it's a tournament for older guys. We get up at 5:30, start playing poker at 6.
That's typical poker. Getting up early.
Getting up early.
And then, Dr. Mike, when I was in Vegas, your school fund got very generous donations from Original David, Jimmy, Eric Rosenthal, John B., and Bogan. And I've sent that along to you. So thank you very much.
Yes, and
guys.
I was floored with that.
Yeah.
How did that come up? Did they just...
We were all sitting at the Vesper bar, and that just happened. We were sitting talking about all sorts of things. Your name came up quite a bit during the trip. And everybody just tossed in. So.
Yeah, blew me away.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. The next day I told the counselor at the school, I said, we were donated some more money. Is there anything anybody needs? And she told me about a kid who did need some shoes that whatever reason his foot's real big. I said, okay, fine, go get them and I'll reimburse you.
Yeah.
So that's how we're spreading it out. But just made that kid's day, you guys. Unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic. Very, it'll cover the shoes and more. So, very generous.
A lot more than the shoes. Yeah. It's just that was the first thing she knew right off the bat that this kid needed. Yeah.
That's great. Thanks again, guys. Hey, at the top of our webpage, you'll find a link to our store where you can buy You Can Bet on That and the Better Life merchandise. Or you can just go directly to bettermerch.com. That's BETTOR merch.com. Also, you can find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television at youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings. And we've got a list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonthat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at You Can Bet on That and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Over to you, Dr. Mike.
Well, Mark, a couple of things have crossed my mind as we've been talking. One of them, just from the donation that the guys sent for the school, I was reading the other night about Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, how he grew up in a divorce situation and he lived with his father and they couldn't really afford a home or anything. So they lived out of their car for quite a long time and how his youth was, right? And now being a NFL quarterback who's quite good and making lots of money, how things have changed. And he was saying something about, well, we never gave up, and people helped us along the way. And it just reinforces the fact that our job here is to take care of each other. And sometimes people end up in a unexpectedly bad place and they need a little help.
Yeah.
Like the kid at school doesn't have shoes because same thing. It's kind of a divorce situation. Mom has no money. Dad's gone, that kind of thing. So we should all think about that a little more. And guys like those guys that just out of the blue donate money and stuff, excellent. If you want good karma or whatever, you believe in, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, outstanding.
Then also, I was watching a thing, I don't know what it was on, Instagram or something that the girl sent me where a guy was walking down the street and he would just hold his hand out to a stranger. Like, I'm going to shake your hand. And then when they grabbed his hand to shake it, he spun them around, a little twirly thing.
Oh, like a dance?
Like a dance thing, yeah. And it was funny. I don't know how many people would get mad at that. Most of them just smiled and laughed and thought it was great. So I'm going to start doing that.
Oh, boy.
Just randomly. I'm going to start at school because there's a few kids I know who would love it.
Okay.
Just hold out my hand and just give them a spin,
Just be careful, Dr. Mike, all right?
Yeah.
I won't say more than that. Just be careful.
Right. Well, it's not going to be a fast spin or anything. No one will get hurt. But I don't want to, some big, huge guy on the street do it to him and get punched. But I think most people appreciate that.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Well,
how would you react?
I would be a little put off, I think, probably, if it happened to me.
Really?
But, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, I think it would be hilarious.
Well, it'd be funny. In retrospect, I might laugh at it, but at the time, I think I'd be a little put off.
I mean, if the person was real odd or doing something, but they're just a normal person.
Just a normal person, you say. Okay. Well, if it was just a normal person, then of course I'd enjoy it.
You know what I mean? It's not like, the guy's talking to himself and hasn't showered in 10 years or something like that.
All right. Thanks for clarifying that, Dr.
Guy on the street. Anyway, I thought I'd try it. I think it's a good way to spread a little fun and kindness in the world.
All right. Let us know how that turns out.
Okay. I know just the people I'm going to try it on next week.
All right.
Anyway, those are the things I've been thinking about recently.
Good. Thank you,
And
Dr.
then
Mike.
just sitting here pondering what I'm going to do when I get to Vegas in December.
Yeah.
Now, I'm getting in early afternoon, so.
Okay. I'll try to get in about the same time as you, if not earlier.
Yeah, and if you don't, it's no big deal. But I'm trying to get in early afternoon because I want to get a good night's sleep.
Straight to bed.
Straight to bed before Friday. I get in Thursday afternoon. I want to be ready to go at 7 a.m.
Fresh. All right. We will talk to you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Good night.
You think you're so smart. Just wait until the great pumpkin comes. He'll be here. You can bet on that.